Welcome to this episode of Caesar Clubbing. I'm Caesar Sear, and I'm here to give you some high energy songs for all your musical needs. Songs on the channel will typically be pre-2000s. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons to stay in the loop. I do have a Ko-fi and Buy Me a Coffee pages set up if you like the channel and want to donate to the cause. If you prefer, I also have a variety of official channel merchandise available at Redbubble, TeePublic, Spring, and Threadless. All the links will appear below the video. Feel free to comment and recommend any songs or artists that you want to hear in the future. I use and include the official artist and video links in my reactions where possible, and I encourage you to do the same. Please stream and download your music using your favorite legal websites. I feel the best way to appreciate music and musicians is to see a live performance, so please support your favorite local music venues and artists when they come to your town. Friends, Romans, and countrymen, lend me your ears. Today we'll be going back to 1978 to enjoy a classic from Blondie called Heart of Glass. Heart of Glass is a song by the American new wave band Blondie, written by singer Deborah Harry and guitarist Chris Stein. It was featured on the band's third studio album, Parallel Lines, released in 1978, and was released as the album's third single in January 1979. It reached number 1 in the charts in several countries, including the United States' Billboard Hot 100 and the UK Singles Chart. The song is associated with disco, new wave, pop, dance rock, and synth pop genres. Debbie Harry and Chris Stein wrote an early version of Heart of Glass called Once I Had a Love in 1974, 1975-ish area. The earlier version was initially recorded as a demo in 1975. The song had a slower, funkier sound with a basic disco beat. For this reason, the band referred to it as the disco song. The original version was inspired by the Hughes Corporation's hit disco song Rock the Boat, which came out in 1974. The song was re-recorded in a second demo with the same title in 1978. When the song made a bit more pop-oriented, Harry said that Heart of Glass was one of the first songs Blondie wrote, but it was years before they recorded it properly. They tried it as a ballad, as a reggae track, but it never quite worked, and the lyrics weren't really about anybody. Were based on a true story. They were just a moaning line about a lost love, generally speaking. It was only when the band met with producer Mike Chapman to start work on the Parallel Lines record that Harry recalled that Chapman had asked them to play all the songs that they had at the time. And when they played them all, he asked them if they had anything else. And so that's when they refresh their memory about Heart of Glass, or what would become a Heart of Glass, and then they introduced him to the song, and he liked it and thought it was interesting and started working with it, added some fresh ideas that eventually allowed the track to become finished to their satisfaction, and they ended up adding it to the album. It was a number 1 hit in Australia, New Zealand, Austria, Canada, Switzerland, the UK, and the US, as I mentioned, and a top 5 hit in many other European countries. It was a gold record in Denmark, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, and the US, platinum in Australia, and double platinum in both Canada and the UK. Heart of Glass was ranked at number 66 in the UK's official list of the biggest selling singles of all time, with sales of 1.32 million copies, which was 9th best-selling single of the 1970s in the UK. It was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame as a recording of qualitative or historical significance in 2015. Harry herself had stated that Heart of Glass was, along with Rapture, the songs that she was proudest of having written. In December 2004, Rolling Stone ranked the song number 255 on its list of the 500 greatest songs of all time. It was ranked at number 259 when the list was updated in 2010, and number 138 in their 2021 update of the same list. Slant Magazine placed it at number 42 on their list of the greatest dance songs of all time, and Pitchfork named it in as the 18th best song of the 1970s. Billboard magazine ranked Heart of Glass number 47 in their list of the 500 best pop songs of all time in 2023. And here we go. Let's take a little mid-song break. So that's the first part of Heart of Glass. And as you can see, the Blondie is a great disco front person. Although prior to this record, the group was more known as a new wave group and were kind of considered a bit of a sellout for selling, for switching their format to these kind of songs. Like I said, the song was released towards the end of the 70s, and that was already kind of the start of the end of the disco and the disco era and backlash against the disco groups like the Bee Gees and along with Blondie and other artists of that variety. So, yeah, they lost a bit of credibility in some of their eyes of their early fans and gained some new ones from the disco side of things. And Debbie Harry was a, great disco front person, and it's kind of like an understated vocal on her part, I would say, very kind of monotone, not too much intonation or highs and lows. All the kind of dynamics happen with the guitars and the keyboards in the background and the drum beat. And another interesting fact about the song is that it features a different time signature in spots than the normal disco track, which are normally the regular 4/4 time. There's a few spots where this one uses a bit of a different count, and so it stood out for that reason as well. Probably because of their new wave background, they weren't a pure disco band, so they didn't follow the necessarily disco established conventions for their song. And let's continue.
Yeah.
And that was Heart of Glass by Blondie. What's a heart of love? And it was a guess. It turned out I had a heart of glass. Seemed like the real thing, only to find. Thanks for dropping by. Please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed your visit. You can also support the channel by purchasing official channel merchandise on Spring, Redbubble, TeePublic, and Threadless, or through my official Ko-fi and Buy Me a Coffee pages listed below the video. Ooh, whoa. Please support your favorite artists and live music venues, and I will see you soon.